I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information.
That was Corey Feldman in 1993, telling police exactly who was preying on children in Hollywood, and they did nothing.
Insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you were exactly on track with a lot of this stuff.
That's Mel Gibson, admitting he knew something was deeply wrong in Hollywood decades ago, but everyone called him crazy.
And they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are.
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
But here's what nobody is connecting. Mel Gibson and Terrence Howard didn't just expose Hollywood's darkest secret. They named names. And one of those names? Oprah Winfrey. So the Epstein files just dropped. Over 3 million documents, thousands of videos, images so disturbing they can't even be shown to the public. And while everyone's scrambling to figure out who was involved, two men have been sitting back saying, "We told you so." Mel Gibson and Terrence Howard. And now they're coming forward with a list of names that will shake Hollywood to its core. Because here's the thing, when Mel Gibson executive produced Sound of Freedom back in 2018, nobody paid attention to the real message. Everyone thought it was just another thriller about child trafficking in Honduras, a poor father, a former beauty queen posing as a talent scout, kids lured in with fake modeling contracts, abducted, sold, rescued by the good guys, roll credits. But what if I told you that movie wasn't just inspired by real events? What if Sound of Freedom was Mel Gibson's way of telling us exactly what was happening in Hollywood? And who was behind it? And what if Terrence Howard has been dropping breadcrumbs this entire time, exposing the same elites, including Oprah, for their role in this nightmare? Let's start from the beginning.
One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human and particularly the trafficking of children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness.
That's Mel Gibson. And he didn't say that last year. He said it in 2018, the same year Sound of Freedom was being produced, the same year Jeffrey Epstein purchased 330 gallons of sulfuric acid. Now, let me ask you something. Why would Jeffrey Epstein need 330 gallons of sulfuric acid? He wasn't cleaning his pool. This is a highly corrosive chemical that can dissolve bone, tissue, and biological evidence down to nothing. And guess when he bought it? The exact same day the FBI opened a case against him. You can't make this up. And here's where it gets even darker. Inside the Epstein files, there were emails, coded conversations. And in one of them, Epstein reportedly said, "They are like shrimp. You throw away the top, keep the body." Let that sink in.
They killed them, they dismembered them, they cut up their intestines, and they took the feces out, and they ate it.
Narrator, that's not a horror movie. That's what was allegedly happening behind closed doors. And Mel Gibson, he's been trying to tell us for decades. Now, most people don't know this, but Mel Gibson and Terrence Howard are close friends. In fact, Terrence has publicly credited Mel as one of the people who helped him find redemption in his life. And just like Mel, Terrence has been exposing Hollywood's twisted agenda for years.
When you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Terrence Howard wasn't just talking about emasculation. He was talking about control, the industry's way of breaking black men and anyone who refused to play along by forcing them into compromising situations, rituals, exchanges, all for a chance at fame. And according to Terrence, it's not just about wearing dresses or feminizing black men. It's about submission. It's about making people do things so degrading, so humiliating, that they lose a part of themselves. And once you've done it, you're owned.
No.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f*** you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it.
Terrence said no, and guess what happened? His career took a hit. Sound familiar? Because that's exactly what happened to Mel Gibson. Let's rewind to 1998. Mel Gibson gave an interview where he described Hollywood as a place where some of your worst nightmares were real. He talked about being a 25-year-old outsider who walked into the industry and immediately felt like something was off. He couldn't understand why everyone around him seemed so comfortable with what was happening, and when he tried to speak up, he was labeled paranoid, crazy, anti-Semitic.
I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me.
They don't.
And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be, because the whole place can't be like, weird town, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go to the house on the hill. It's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you were exactly on track with a lot of this stuff.
Mel wasn't paranoid. He was right, and the industry knew it, and that's why they buried him. In 2004, Mel directed The Passion of the Christ. Every single studio in Hollywood refused to fund it. Why? Because they didn't want to talk about God. So Mel used his own money. The film went on to gross over $600 million worldwide. And what did Hollywood do? They slammed him with anti-Semitic allegations. They painted him as a lunatic, a bigot, a has-been. But Mel didn't stop. In 2018, he executive produced Sound of Freedom. And again, nobody wanted to fund it. Why? Because the movie exposed the very thing Hollywood didn't want the world to see: child trafficking networks run by the elites. Now, here's where Oprah Winfrey enters the picture. For years, Oprah has been untouchable, America's sweetheart, the queen of talk shows, the woman who built an empire on inspiration and empowerment. But behind the scenes, Terrence Howard and Mel Gibson are alleging something much darker. You see, Oprah has had some very questionable connections over the years. She was close friends with Harvey Weinstein. She had a school in South Africa that was shut down after multiple allegations of abuse. And let's not forget her relationship with John of God, the Brazilian healer, who was later convicted of running a baby trafficking ring and sexually abusing hundreds of women. Oprah promoted him. She gave him a platform. And when the truth came out, crickets. Now, Terrence Howard has been hinting at Oprah's involvement in Hollywood's dark underworld for years. He's talked about how powerful women in the industry are just as complicit as the men. And Mel Gibson, he's been dropping breadcrumbs in Sound of Freedom. Let me break it down for you. In Sound of Freedom, the villain is a former beauty queen named Giselle. She poses as a talent scout, luring poor families with promises of modeling contracts and fame. Sound familiar? Because that's exactly how Epstein operated. Fake modeling agencies, fake talent scouts, and guess who else has been connected to these kinds of operations? Oprah's Leadership Academy in South Africa, where young girls were allegedly groomed and abused. But it doesn't stop there. The movie also features a character named Vampiro, an ex-cartel accountant who helps the hero expose the trafficking ring. And in real life, Mel Gibson and Terrence Howard are playing that exact role. They're the ones pulling back the curtain, naming names. And according to insider sources, Oprah is one of those names.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are.
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
That's Corey Feldman, and he's not the only one who's been silenced. Now with the Epstein files out, everything is coming to light. People are finally connecting the dots. And Mel Gibson and Terrence Howard, they're not backing down. In fact, Terrence recently sent Mel a warning to protect himself because allegedly the same people who tried to end Mel's career in the 2000s are now trying to silence him again. And this time, it's not just about his reputation, it's about his life.
No matter how strong you are, you are going to be affected by this place. And I think it takes that kind of cockroach resilience. You can't get mad. You can't get mad. You can't let it get you, because you have to make a deal with everyone else, and it's almost unspoken that you are going to be f***ed over at some point.
But Mel didn't make that deal, and neither did Terrence. And now they're paying the price. Let's talk about the evidence. The Epstein files revealed videos of girls being chased around by grown men in just their underwear. Photos so horrific they can't even be described publicly. Emails detailing torture, dismemberment, and acts so depraved that even seasoned investigators were shaken. And in one of those emails, Epstein talked about forcing a 16-year-old girl to carry his baby to term. They let her hold the child for a few minutes. Then they ripped it away, and nobody knows what happened to that baby. This is the reality Mel Gibson has been trying to expose. This is what Terrence Howard has been hinting at, and this is why Oprah's name keeps coming up.
Why did Jeffrey Epstein purchase 330 gallons of sulfuric acid in 2018? Well, he damn well wasn't cleaning his pool.
Now, you might be wondering, why Oprah? What's her connection to all of this? Well, let's look at the pattern. Oprah has a history of surrounding herself with predators. Harvey Weinstein, John of God. And let's not forget the allegations surrounding her school in South Africa, where young girls reported being abused by staff members. Oprah claimed she didn't know, but how do you not know when it's your own school? And then there's her connection to the modeling industry. Oprah has been involved in multiple initiatives aimed at discovering young talent. Sound familiar? Because that's the exact same playbook Epstein used. Terrence Howard has been vocal about how Hollywood uses black women as gatekeepers. And who's the biggest gatekeeper in Hollywood? Oprah. She decides who gets a platform, who gets canceled, who gets protected. And according to Terrence and Mel, Oprah has been protecting the wrong people. Terrence wasn't just talking about emasculation, he was talking about control. And Oprah, she's allegedly one of the controllers. Now here's where it gets even crazier. Jim Caviezel, the actor who played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ and starred in Sound of Freedom, has also been speaking out. He's been exposing the same trafficking networks, the same elites, and he's been naming names. And guess what? His career has been buried too. So we have Mel Gibson, Terrence Howard, Jim Caviezel, Corey Feldman, all of them saying the same thing, all of them pointing fingers at the same people, and all of them being silenced. Coincidence? I don't think so.
You believe that children are being abused by pedophiles in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So why are you sitting down talking to me? Why aren't you sitting down with the police right now?
I've told the police.
They told the police, they told the media, they told us, and we didn't listen. But now, with the Epstein files out, we can't ignore it anymore. So what happens next? Well, according to insider sources, Mel Gibson and Terrence Howard are preparing to release a full list of names, and Oprah is reportedly on that list, along with other A-listers you would never expect. And here's the kicker. Terrence has been warning Mel to stay safe, because the people they're exposing, they don't play games. They've already tried to destroy Mel's career. They've already tried to silence Terrence. And now, with the truth finally coming out, they're allegedly trying to do much worse.
These little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head with a battering ram trying to walls in.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take very long. It's cascading on you all the time.
Mel knew what he was up against, and he fought anyway. Now, people are finally waking up. Social media is flooded with comments like, Mel Gibson was right all along, and Terrence Howard has been trying to tell us for years. One person said, reading the Epstein files, it sounds like the billionaires let their own kids get abused by Epstein and others. Very sick. Another said, funny how South Park made fun of Mel Gibson, making him out as a psycho when it was really the producers that were the psychos. And they're right. Mel wasn't crazy. He was brave. And so is Terrence. So here's my question for you. Do you believe Mel Gibson and Terrence Howard? Do you think Oprah is really involved? And are you ready for the full list of names to drop? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because this story is far from over.